Welcome to CTC Live. It's been a little bit since we've done this, and we want to welcome all the Eagles out there who are watching today. Our guest today is Victor Gates with the Testing Services, He's Director of Testing Services, and he's going to share all the information about the testing center. I know there's always questions about where is the testing center, who can use the testing center, what kind of tests are offered at the testing center, and how do I prepare when taking a test at the testing center. Well, Mr. Gates is going to provide all that information and more to us now. So without further ado, here is Victor Gates, Director of Testing Services.
Thank you very much, Bruce. I appreciate your time and everyone else who happens to be watching. As far as where we are located, we are on the campus. We are located in building 215 on the second floor. Room 233 is where we sign in at. There is a lobby on the second floor where most people come to. Our hours are from 7:45 in the morning till 5:30. Reason being is because everyone shows up at 7:30 and we need a few minutes to get everyone started. We do not make appointments until 8 a.m. So if you're here at 7:45, we have time to brief everybody and get everyone set. As far as testing goes, because of Pearson VUE, we give over 200 different tests. Some of the main tests that we give, of course, the biggest one is TSI, Texas Success Initiative, which everyone is usually taking in order to get into school, but we have many other tests involved with that. We also do the TCEQ, which is Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. We do TCOL for Texas Commission on Law Enforcement. We give the TEAS test, which is test of essential academic skills, which is usually taken prior to getting into the nursing program. We also have THEA, Texas Higher Education Assessment, and many, many other tests. We also do the NHA test when someone is complete with their training, such as for EKG and things like that. If you go to our webpage, it will answer 99% of your questions, and that's what I tell everybody when they first get here. I usually give a briefing in the morning when we get started because for some reason a lot of people don't go to our webpage or they don't ask when they call. The biggest problems that we have right now is when you come into the testing center, please understand there's certain things that you can and cannot do. And this is all listed on our webpage. For example, we do have a dress code. You do have to have proper ID. There's no food or drink allowed in the testing center. There's no children allowed in the testing center. There's many, many different things that we always encourage people, please go to our webpage. Our webpage is very easy to find. If you go to the main CTC website, which is ctcd.edu, at the very top, you're going to see a banner and you'll see students. At the very top where there's students, you hover over that, you'll see a drop down. To the right of the drop down, you will see where it says testing services. You will click on testing services. It will open up. To the left, we have headers showing different tests that we take. And to the right, you'll see all the information involved with the testing center. Now, I run this web page, so I update it weekly, sometimes daily when it needs to be updated. At the top, you'll see it has a welcome, as well as it will also tell you about anything that is going on pertaining to the COVID-19 pandemic at the time. You will also see where it says closures. That is updated frequently to let you know what days that we will not be open. For example, as of right now, I have the closure down for Monday, July 4th for Independence Day, where we'll be closed. Underneath that, you'll see where it says summer hours, where we will be closed every Friday from May 23rd to July 29th. Below that, you'll see our office hours that will tell you when we're open, along with a telephone number and an email address in order to contact us. Now, please understand, we try to contact everybody as soon as possible. If we can't get back to you as soon as possible, we at least get back to you within 24 hours. Underneath that, you'll see where it says, did you know? Please read that, where you see that big exclamation point. This is telling you our dress code. This is telling you certain procedures that we have. Now, one of the problems is we have a lot of students that come in, well, I don't understand why. The reason being is because we have contracts with many, many national testing agencies. We have to follow their rules. And that's why we have these dress codes. For example, the only jewelry you're allowed to wear is a wedding band or an engagement ring. We've had many people want to argue with us because they want to keep their earrings in. We're not allowed to do that. You have to follow the rules that are here and have been established by these national testing agencies, as well as understand we get inspected all the time. And when we do get inspected, they don't come in and say, hey, I'm an inspector. They come in pretending to be students to see what they can get away with. So we can't let anybody get away with anything. Below that, when it tells you what you need to bring, it shows you all the acceptable forms of identification that we can use. They're all listed there. Government IDs. We can use state IDs, driver's license. We can even use permanent resident cards, also known as green card. Now, since the pandemic, one of the new things that we have been doing and that we were allowed to do is during that time, if your ID had expired and you had the form saying that you've already got your ID renewed and you have not received it in the mail yet, or the form saying that you have an appointment to get your ID renewed, we will accept that. But that's the only other thing. And lately, please let me put this out here too. We've had a lot of people coming up and saying, yeah, I have ID. And then they'll show us their ID on their cell phone. We cannot accept that. We have to have the actual ID or the paperwork involved with it. Now, due to Texas state law, you don't have to wear a mask. But if you want to, you are permitted to wear a mask when you come into the testing center. Now, whether or not you wear a mask, we still practice social distancing. So as you come in, you're going to see strips of tape on the ground where you'll be standing to sign in. We have 4 different testing rooms, 1 sign-in area, 135 computers. So you may be asked more than once what test you're taking so that we can also check it with our login, make sure that we get you into the correct room and that we get you taking the correct test. We also can do accommodations. We work at disability services. If we have someone that has special accommodations, we have a room where they can test by themselves if need be. They can also have a test scribe and reader. So we do have that, but please contact disability services first before you come to us because we cannot give you those special accommodations until it has been approved by disability services. As far as acceptable forms of payment, here at the testing center, we can only accept exact cash. If you're paying with a debit or credit card, you must go through the business office. And we ask that once you do that, they're going to give you a receipt. Please make a copy of that receipt and bring both receipts to us because once we test you, we're going to stamp both copies of the receipt. You keep one, we keep the other one. Also understand, make sure that before you come to us, you know the test that you're taking and that you are going to take that test because it says highlighted in bold letters at the bottom, all testing administrative fees are non-refundable. So please do not go pay for a test before you speak to us or an advisor to ensure that you do need that test and that we can get you the date that you want or close to as possible. Now, with the 200 different tests that we give, please understand, we test the entire community. We have had people actually come from Louisiana and Oklahoma just to test with us, mostly during the pandemic times. So with that happening, we ask that you call us with 48 hours in advance. But, today is June 29th. We're already making appointments for the last week of July and the beginning of August. So please don't be discouraged. We try to work people in. We look at everybody's different condition to see if we can get you in as soon as possible. But with that being said, that's the main gist of the testing center. We are here to help you. Please understand, we have had this happen before. We're not going to argue with anybody. We understand that there's many, many different levels of test anxiety, and we try to help you, but all we can help you with is the test. We cannot help you with anything else. Please let us help you with testing, okay? But with that being said, that's the main gist. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. Again, on our webpage, our website, our phone number, and our email address, they're all listed there. We are here to help you. And just please let us help you as much as we can.
One question, Mr. Gates. How are tests administered? Are they done via internet? Are they done on paper? Or how are the tests administered?
Well, as of right now, all of our tests are administered by computer. They are done by internet. What will happen is they'll come in, we'll find out what test they're taking, we'll take them and seat them, we'll log them in, and then from that point, they are proctored. We do have video surveillance as well as the proctors. Every 5 to 10 minutes, we'll walk through the room. We do have lockers where people can put their personal items. What will happen is they'll give us their ID, we'll give them the key, they'll lock everything up, and they will hold on to the key the entire time while testing. Once they're done, they'll retrieve all their items out of the locker, they'll give us the key, we'll give them their ID back. And with that, We do have a lot of people that happen to lose their IDs. We find IDs out in the lobby, we find them in the bathroom. When we find the IDs, we'll hold on to them for the rest of the day. At the end of the day, we take them to the campus police. So if they call us the next day, say they don't find out until the next day that they lost their ID, we'll let them know that yes, we did find it and we took it to campus police, and that's where you have to retrieve it.
Right. Speaking of IDs, will our CTC student ID work, or do they need their driver's license?
CTC student ID will work. It will work. And another requirement is, since the legal age in the state of Texas is 17, anyone under the age of 17 must be signed in by a parent or guardian.
So that means the parent or guardian must accompany them to the testing site.
Yes, parent or guardian must accompany them. Now, the parent will not be in there while they're testing. The parent, if they wish, they can sit out in the lobby or they can sit out in a car, but the parent is not supposed to leave this area. The farthest they can go is to the parking lot while that student under the age of 17 is testing.
Right, right.
Mhm.
Okay. What are some of the issues or concerns that you guys have encountered with the testing process? I mean, so by explaining that, some of the students will not have that same issue or same problem, or cause you guys any issues at the same time. So, what are some of the main concerns that you guys encounter?
The main concerns that we have and that we've had for the few years that I've been here is, again, there are many different levels of test anxiety. We've seen people come in cool, calm, and collected, take their test and leave. We've seen other people come in so anxious that they almost pass out right before they get ready to take that test. So we try to have everybody come in and be very calm. We approach everyone with a very calm demeanor to try to calm them down to take their test. Um, we do have some instances where people get upset with us, and they'll get upset with us because we tell them, I'm sorry, but you're not allowed to wear, your hair wrapped up unless it's for religious purposes. I apologize, but you cannot wear, all the different rings and things on your fingers. We have to take about a dozen tests every year just to be allowed to proctor people. And when we watch these films, we're allowed to see how easy it is for people to cheat. I mean, most people don't think about it, but it's very easy for them to cheat. And a couple of years ago, the first time I'd ever heard of Google Glasses, we caught somebody wearing Google Glasses trying to cheat on their test. So that's one of the biggest problems we have is the dress code. Not so much with IDs. We don't really have a problem with IDs, but the dress code and the demeanor of the candidates coming into test. I would say 90% of the people come in with a great attitude. They just want to take their test and leave. The other 10% come in with a really like foul attitude, and they're looking for a fight.
Yeah. Okay. And some of the tests that you administer, you mentioned nursing, do you guys administer the HESI test for nursing students?
Yes, we do. We administer the HESI, and we do that every Monday. They have to go through, of course, the nursing department to get signed up for that. But what we also do is that last week prior to the cutoff date, to have all of your stuff ready and in for, we administer the HESI every day. Every Monday, we make about 10 to 12 appointments for the HESI. But since they extended the date to like the 15th of August, the week prior, we will be giving the HESI every day.
Good to know. And I had a student walk into my office trying to find you guys, and he was looking for some kind of aviation test. Do you guys offer something for aviation as well?
Yes, we do. Through PSI, we offer all of the FAA exams. Again, this is a test much like with the HESI or with Pearson View. They don't do anything with us as far as signing up. All we do is administer the exam. They have to go to that individual website, the PSI website. They will choose the test that they want to take. They will pay for it on the website. And then they also get to choose where they want to test, much like with the HESI and also with Pearson View. After you pay for it, you get to decide where you want to test. And then we have time slots and dates already allotted, and all they have to do is just choose. So they'll choose Central Texas College. Once they choose the Central Texas College and the date, when we go in every morning to check our testing, we'll be able to see who we're going to be testing that day. And they'll have to be here on that date. Now, we do have some people that may miss their appointment. If you think you're going to miss your appointment, please call us as soon as possible. If you know you're going to miss your appointment a couple days before your appointment, please call us and let us know as soon as possible. Not only does that free up that spot for someone else who may want that spot, but it also helps you, because if you're not going to make it, then Pearson VUE, PSI, nursing, everybody can be contacted and it won't fall against you. For example, with a Pearson VUE exam, if you don't let us know you're not going to make it, you're going to lose your money. You're not going to get it back. Whereas Pearson VUE may be able to reimburse you or schedule you for a later date and time.
Great, that's good advice. Now, how would and I know one of the more popular tests, I guess, now that we're coming back to full strength here after COVID, was the TSI assessment. So that's going to be coming back. Now, how would a student go about taking care of the TSI assessment?
Well, what they started during the pandemic was they did start virtual TSI, which is another option. We still give the TSI here every day. If a student wants to take the TSI, then what they can do is they can either give us a call or send us an email. We would prefer them calling, but if they send us an email, that's fine. They can tell us a date in which they'd like to take it. Now, I advise them to speak to an advisor or a counselor because there's two different portions. There's the mathematics portion and there's the ELAR, which stands for English Language Arts and Reading, because they used to be three portions, but they took the essay and combined it with the reading portion. If you only need to take one portion of the test, it's $15. If you need to take the entire test, it's $25. We do have students sometimes will pay for the entire test and then find out later they didn't need to take it. So then they want a refund, but again, we don't do refunds anymore. So I would advise them to speak to a counselor first and find out if they need to take both tests or just one. Once they find this out, they can either give us a call and make an appointment to come up here and take the test, or they can do it virtually. Should they choose to take the test virtually, they will have to pay the business office first. Once they pay the business office is going to send them a receipt to an email address that they give them. Once they have that receipt, then they can call us. We can create the voucher form. It takes all of about 2 minutes. All we need is first name, last name, date of birth, and we need that receipt number. Once we create it for them, we will send the voucher to them. It has step-by-step instructions of what they need to do to create an account with Examity. Now, the biggest thing with that is not only do they have to pay us if they want to do it virtually, but they also have to pay Examity to virtually proctor them. Whereas if they just want to take the test with us and they're taking the entire thing, it's $25. If they want to take the test through Examity, they pay us the $25 because they're going to be using our TSI unit. Then they'll have to pay Examity $15 to proctor them. But the voucher will explain that they're taking the test for CTC. It has the voucher number in bold when they have to put the voucher number in, and they will have 90 days to take the test from the day that the voucher was completed.
Okay, pretty good. What advice would you give a student who is kind of new to CTC and first time using the Testing Center to make the experience as easy as possible for them?
The biggest advice I would give them was please go to our webpage first, because again, our webpage answers 99% of all their questions. If for some reason there happens to be something they're not sure about, then contact us first. We have our phone numbers listed, we have our email address listed, and we have no problem. We do this every day. It's part of our everyday job. I know I receive about 30 phone calls a day just asking basic questions about the testing center. We have no problem answering and let them know. The biggest thing is that most of the students that we see that come up here, they don't contact us first. They may be in administration building or they may be at the science center or something like that. And they'll hear somebody tell them, oh, just go to the testing center or just, and show up. And then they get here and they get upset with us from information that they were given by someone else when they could have just called us or went to our webpage and the information is there listed for them.
Okay. And so, can a student walk in to make an appointment, or would you prefer that they call to make an appointment or email you?
Either one is fine. We have students that walk in every day to make an appointment, and we let them know. It's one of the first things I do in the morning when I go out to brief everyone is I'll ask who is there for testing, and most everybody raise their hand, and I'll be like, does everyone have an appointment? Because if you don't have an appointment, the only thing we can do for you is make an appointment. Uh, Either way is fine, whether you call us, whether you come in to make an appointment, or whether you email us. All three of those avenues are fine. We have no
Okay.
problem with it.
All right, but just don't expect to make the appointment for that day then, in other words. I mean, so
No,
don't, because I know students have that expectation that it's like immediate, I walk in, I'm here, let me make the appointment for later today. So,
no, the best we can do is 48 hours in advance. And again, like I said, we don't only test for CTC, we test for the entire community. We give testing to police officers, paramedics. We give all the IT exams. We give teaching exams for K through 12. We test for real estate, both state and national. We test life insurance. All these different tests that we give, we support the entire community. That's why now, even though it's the end of June, we already have appointments all the way through the beginning of August. And the only thing that we can tell students at that point is you may make an appointment with us. And if you need to test earlier, by all means, give us a call back. We may have a spot open where if somebody canceled. If not, they may have to look to go someplace else because we're already booked. And usually by the end of September, we're booked through the rest of the year.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
All right. So in summary, I guess the main thing is make that appointment and with 48-hour notice, and then adhere to the dress code and make sure you bring proper ID. And those will probably be the three biggest steps, I guess, that you guys would probably advise students on.
Absolutely. I mean, we're here to work with everybody, but again, we cannot break the rules. So, like I said, we are here to work with everybody. We're here to do everything we can for everybody. But again, when it comes to breaking the rules, we can't do it because that person may very well be an inspector. And if they shut us down, then nobody tests. That's why we're very stringent on the rules.
Okay, that's great. We appreciate it. So, Lee, are there any questions coming through on Facebook? Any comments?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, so as we wrap up, let me just remind everyone that this session, the CTC live session on the testing services and testing center, will be available later today, possibly tomorrow morning on YouTube. So we'll send the link out, and you can review it or see it for the first time. If you happen to miss some of the early stuff, you can catch that. And so we'll make it available to all students. And again, that will help. And we'll follow Mr. Gates' advice and share the website one more time, just because that seems to have all the information that you'll need. So the best thing to do when going to the is, let me get to the right website here, and and I'm going to go back to the home page here. Okay, so this is our CTC homepage, and you'll go under students, testing services under student resources on the far right. Click on that, and boom, there you are with testing services with all the information Mr. Gates shared, and all the questions that you possibly have will probably be answered in this bit. But worst case scenario, if that doesn't happen, call 254-526-1194, or you can email testing.clerk@ctcd.edu. And also here's the address. As Mr. Gates said, you can walk in to make an appointment, but again, appointments must be made 48 hours in advance. So don't expect same day service. If you walk in tomorrow morning, expect to take a test tomorrow afternoon. So any closing thoughts, Mr. Gates, and anything you'd like to, last final words of wisdom, I guess.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate that we were able to do this. Hopefully, this will clear up a lot of things for any potential and future candidates and students. And by all means, we are always here to help. Please do not hesitate to give us a call, send us an email, or just come on in. We will take care of you.
Okay, great. Well, we appreciate your time, Mr. Gates. Thank you so much. And that will conclude this CTC Live. And again, we'll have it available on YouTube so you can recap, review any information that was shared today. So, and we'll see you guys. Let me throw out another reminder. We have an Eagle Q&A coming up on July 12th at 12:30, which will answer all questions and any questions about admissions, registration, transcripts, and Blackboard possibly, and any other questions that students may have. So you want to join us then for the Eagle Q&A, July 12th at 12:30. Again, thank you, Mr. Gates. We appreciate it, and hopefully that will ease some of the traffic into the testing center, so students will come in a little bit more prepared with what to expect. So, all right, thanks again, everyone. We'll see you next time on CTC Live.
Thank you.